What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Matthews back at it again with another hometown take. Today, I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons. You see the shirt, you already know what's popping. Before I get into the video and tell you who the Atlanta Falcons could possibly trade for, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts down below. Also, I have a link in my description so you can buy me a coffee and help fuel this channel. So I would highly appreciate that. Also, less than 50 subs away from monetization. So that's all I'm gonna say. You know what to do. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and get right into the video. Today I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons and whether or not the Atlanta Falcons should trade for Carson Wentz. That's right. Carson Wentz. Reports are out, supposedly Carson Wentz still wants out despite the fact that there has been a coaching change. Obviously, we know Nick Sirianni, I don't know how to say his last name, I'm sorry. Eagles fans, forgive me. Anyways, even though there's been a coaching change and, Nick Sirianni does come from Frank Reich. He was I believe he was the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts. And even though he's coming from Frank Reich, and we know how Carson thrived and was the MVP form of Frank Reich, he still wants out. At least that's what the rumors are saying. Now, there's nothing hard behind that. Obviously, this is all speculation, but Carson still may want out. At least on the Eagles end, there hasn't been any word of them wanting to get rid of him. They're planning to keep him, and as of right now, it's looking like him and Jalen just going to battle it out. But if a trade does happen, I'm telling you why the Atlanta Falcons might not be such a bad suitor. Here's a couple of reasons for the trade. Now, I'm going to go ahead and answer the question you guys are all wondering. Dylan, what do you think? Do you think the Falcons should do that? Do you think we should trade Matt Ryan for Carson Wentz? This is my take, personally. I'm going to give pros and cons for both here in a second, but my personal take on the matter is no. The Falcons do not need to trade for Carson Wentz. I'm good. Carson, I'm going to get into, reasons why he might have been bad that aren't his fault. I believe he was the most at quarterback this season with 50. And I'm going to dive into a little bit deeper, but it's still, even with the factors I'm going to mention, it just seems like something mentally wasn't right with Carson. Whether that's he knew Jalen Hurts was behind him and he was always scared about getting benched. Whether it was he was trying to do too much, hold the ball too long to try to make hero ball. I don't know what it was, but something didn't seem right up here with Carson. And if something ain't right up here with you, whatever the reason is, maybe a fresh start will help. We've seen it before, fresh start, someone leaves, Peyton Manning, that was the injury though. So Peyton Manning is maybe not a great example. Either way it goes, some people just need a fresh start and they thrive in that. But Carson, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'm good. I would rather just get a guy from the draft, or if we do trade, which we're probably not going to anyway, because even though Matt Ryan's contract is actually tradable, the dead cap hit, I don't know how that dead cap hit would work with us in a trade. I still think we'd owe him money. Now, maybe if we do trade him to the Eagles or another team, the team will agree in the trade to pay out that dead money that we owe him. So maybe it could work that way. I'm not sure. I'm not a capologist. I'm not claiming to be that. Don't know how the ins and outs of that will work exactly. But pros and cons of trading for Carson Wentz. Pro, young. He's a young quarterback who has shown he can be an MVP type talent. In 2017, if he wouldn't have got hurt, Carson Wentz was going to be the MVP. I don't think there's really any debate in that. There was nobody even close to him. He finished the season. When he got hurt, he had already thrown 33 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions. He was going to throw 40 plus touchdowns. I forget exactly what week he got hurt. Actually, I can look it up. Let's see. Carson Wentz in 2017 got hurt in week. He played 13 games. So he got hurt in week 14. Yeah, so he got hurt in he got hurt in week 13. So week 13, he got hurt against the Rams. I believe that's what game was. It was either week 12 or 13. But it says he played 13 games. So I'm assuming he started all 13. So that must have been week 13. Week 13 against the Rams, obviously he went and got that touchdown towards ACL. If he would have played the rest of that season, the rest of those 3 games, he could have easily got 40 touchdowns. Only threw 7 interceptions as well. Also threw for, let me pull it up here, threw for 3,000 yards, 3,296 to be exact. Was on an MVP level. He was balling out. He was looking like the best player in the league, like he was going to be the best player in the league for some years going forward. But after 2017, wasn't quite looking the same. His team wasn't the same either. But Carson Wentz, like I said, is a young quarterback. He's shown he can be an MVP type talent, and maybe he just needs a new place to play, and maybe that talent come back out. Fresh evaluation, maybe knowing he'll be the guy, because if we do trade for him, he's going to be the guy in Atlanta. Obviously, we won't draft a quarterback if we trade for Carson Wentz. So that's a pro, young quarterback, and he's shown the potential is there. Now, another pro is that he is signed long term, and his deal isn't terrible. It's around the same as Matt Ryan, but cap hit isn't as casual. Isn't a casualty like Matt Ryan's is. Matt Ryan has the 2nd largest cap hit going into next year, and Carson Wentz has the 5th largest cap hit going into next year. So, it's still, not great, but it's not bad. And plus, if we're trading for him, obviously we will want him long term anyway, so that wouldn't even be a factor anymore. So, that's another pro. Sign long term. Won't have to re-sign him for a few years. Now, another pro. I'll give this a pro because this is kind of giving Carson Wentz the benefit of the doubt. So, crush a few numbers. Carson, since his rookie year, so we're not going to look at his rookie year, but since his rookie year, and besides this year, he has only thrown 7 picks each season since his rookie year. And besides this season, like I said, but this season he was sacked 50 times. 50. 50. 50 times he got sacked this season. That's a lot. That led the league in times a quarterback was sacked. Yikes. So, obviously, he's under pressure. And that's no excuse to, make bad decisions and force throws. Because it did seem like Carson Wentz was doing too much at times. He was trying to be too much of the hero at times. There's no excuse for that. But, part of it was he was sacked 50 times. So he felt rushed in that pocket. And, I can see why. So, maybe come to Atlanta where our offensive line isn't that bad. And mind you, I'm not trying to trash the Eagles here. The Eagles were riddled with injuries, especially on the offensive line. Old Jason Peters, who was not supposed to be playing left tackle for the Eagles, ended up having to play left tackle because Andre Diller got hurt. Obviously, their guard, whose name I forget, got hurt. Brandon Brooks got hurt. He's one of the best offensive linemen in the league right now. He got hurt. So they had a lot of injuries on the offensive line. Now, so if their offensive line is better, maybe, just maybe, if he's around a better offensive line, he'll play better because he has more time to get through his progressions, make better throws, won't be forcing anything. We'll see. Another pro. Obviously, he's going to be coming into a situation with a lot of weapons. We got Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones if he's healthy. We got Hayden Hurst, Russell Gage, shown to be a pretty good 2nd, 3rd option. So, there you go. You have that as well. Probably draft a running back. He should have a nice running back at his disposal as well. Also, another reason, this kind of goes upon and adds upon my sack stat. The last 3 games of the season, he was sacked 4 or more times. Carson Wentz, that clock was all messed up in his brain. He just felt like he only probably had a second to throw the ball. And you got to adjust to that. I mean, the last 3 games, sacked 4 more times. It's not good. And, like I said, I don't want to make excuses for him, but his offensive line wasn't that good this year. And there was 7 games this season where he was sacked 4 more times, including the first game of the season where he was sacked 8 times. So, granted, you're not going to play very good football when you're under pressure like that if you're Carson Wentz. Now, so those are the pros, he'll be in a better situation, better offensive line, more weapons, because again, injuries did not help the Philadelphia Eagles, especially in weapon side too. Deshaun Jackson was hurt for a lot of the year. Alshon Jeffrey was out most of the year. So, Philly dealt with their injuries this season, were riddled with injuries this season. So, Carson hopefully will have healthy, good weapons. He'll have a better offensive line, so he has more time to make better decisions. But again, the mental side of it. He had 24 turnover-worthy plays this season. That's the most, obviously, in the NFL. So again, that just kind of seems like it's mental. There were a lot of times I watched Carson Wentz this year where he was just holding the ball too long, trying to do too much. If you're Patrick Mahomes on the Kansas City Chiefs with Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, guys like that, you can do that. But on the Eagles with Greg Ward, Travis Fulgham, and guys like that, no shade to those guys, but they aren't Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, and Sammy Watkins. You can't hold the ball that long, okay? You're gonna get sacked, and you're gonna throw interceptions. So the cons, are I don't know if Carson Wentz has it up here anymore. I think his mental might be a little rattled, and I don't want a quarterback whose mental is rattled. Whether it was because of Jalen Hurts or not, your mental's rattled. I'm not sure I want you on the team anymore. You knew Jalen Hurts was behind you. At that point, you got to ball out and you have to make good decisions, be mentally tough. Even when you got benched, you kind of pouted about it, and reports were out. I don't know if any of this was true, speculation, but you demanded a trade, and that doesn't show a lot of mental toughness. And I want my quarterback to be mentally tough. So that's the main reason why I'm good on Carson Wentz. I don't want him on my team, but it could work out. Like I said, maybe change of pace, change of scenery will be good for him. He's young. He's shown the ability to be an MVP type player. It might work, but I'm good, and I don't really feel like going out with the experiment. Give me a guy in the draft, or let's just roll with Matt Ryan and see what happens. I like our chances better that way. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel. Also, the link is going to be in my description below so you can buy me a coffee so you can fuel this channel and fuel the Atlanta Falcons to a great offseason, great draft, great free agency period, and hopefully a great season. All right, and like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and until I talk to you guys next time, peace.